Hi, I'm Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of today's newsletter is going to be getting over the girlfriend from hell. Well, if you read my book, then you know I've dated some women in my past when I didn't know what the hell I was doing that were not the most honest women. They were a little devious, and they were definitely disloyal. And the most important thing to men in a relationship is loyalty. And the characteristic or the quality that women find most sexually attractive in men is confidence. Several years ago, I was reading, I think it was like a little book. It was probably sitting on somebody's toilet seat. I think one time it was one like Life's Little Instruction Book or something like that. And there was this quote in there. And it said, choose very carefully the person who you spend your life with, because 95% of your happiness or your misery will come from that one decision. That's some pretty good advice. And what I've learned over the years is that you want to have a good quality woman that you're going to have a relationship with. And one of the mistakes that us guys tend to make, and I definitely made it when I was younger and inexperienced, was that men are visual creatures. And so most of the time, unfortunately, for a guy, we see a hot girl and it's like, oh, I'm in love with her. I want to marry her. She's perfect. She's the one. That's usually what happens when we meet a girl, especially when we're younger. Like in my case, I get one or two dates and I'm thinking about what our kid's going to look like and all this kind of shit. And without realizing, I'm already blowing my chances with her. And then, boom, I'm out. I'm gone. And for many years, to me, I had beautiful women on a pedestal. I thought, hey, as long as she's hot, she must be perfect. It's just me that I got to fix, and once I get myself fixed, then I'll get the perfect girl. Well, when I learned what I needed to learn, what I realized, and I got to the point where I was actually starting to meet and date and have relationships with these women who before I only got one or two dates with. Women I'd have a relationship with, I'd be sleeping with. I mean, it's total night and day experience. And so you go from having no experience with beautiful women to having lots of experience with beautiful women. And what you realized is women, at least most of them, or I say a lot of them, are just as fucked up as us guys are. The only difference is that women are able to hide it a lot better. Women understand way better about relationships and how to understand a man than men have an understanding of women in relationships. And that's something that you really need to look at. And so it's important that you choose very carefully the person that you're going to get into a relationship with. And if you're a guy watching this and you're single, you got to have more things on your list of qualities that you want in a woman other than she's hot. That can't be the only criteria, because there's a lot of really super hot, beautiful women out there that are totally fucked up and will make your life an absolute living hell. I had which I've actually got on this article, if you're watching this video on my website, called Getting Over the Girlfriend from Hell. I've got a long email here from a guy that I just started coaching yesterday, and he had a heartbreaking story. And he was a teacher, and I can't remember if he had been married before that or whatever, but anyways, he's teaching, and two of the girls that he teaches, he met their mother. Didn't think anything of it, really super hot woman, and she basically comes right up to him and says, I think you're really hot, and if I'm going to give you my phone number and you should call me and take me out on a date. She basically says something like that to him. And when women like a guy and they perceive a guy to be confident, they see him as a catch, just like I wrote about in the article that I wrote yesterday about how to have effortless relationships, and this woman just came up to me. When you start implementing the things that I write about in my book and in these articles, and your body language, your physiology, and the energy that you put out into the world is going to change. And not only women, but every human being can sense when a dominant alpha male walks into the room. And when a woman senses a dominant alpha male or perceives a guy as being dominant, she's naturally going to be drawn to him and sexually attracted to him. And, hey, here's my number. Give me a call. You should call and ask me out for a date. Or they'll come over and they'll make a small talk conversation in hopes that you ask them out. And so you got to pay attention to these things. It's little things like a girl twirling her hair around her finger. The average guy doesn't realize that that's a sign that she's interested. Or when a girl or a woman compliments you and says, I like the way you're dressed, I like your hair, I like the clothes, I like your clothes, I like your outfit. She's basically commenting on your physical attractiveness because she's trying to communicate that she likes you, hoping that you'll figure it out and ask her out. And that's why I keep telling guys, if you've been watching up my videos for a while, you got to read my book over and over, at least 10 to 15 times, to get all those little tips and tells and signs. Because you'll be sitting there eating dinner or on a date with a girl, and she'll do something, and boom, the light bulb will go off in your head, and you go, oh, this means this, this, and that. And those things you have to know and you got to pay attention to. And so back to this particular new client, he meets this woman. She gives him the number. He calls her. They start going out. They get into a relationship. They even got married or engaged to get married. And this is after about 3 years of dating. And then last year he gets this inkling that something is a little awry. Something's a little amiss. He confronts her. He thinks she's cheating on him, because she's just different. She's not as present, and she's a little cold, and some of her stories kind of aren't really matching up to reality, and some of the things she's saying are... he's getting mixed signals, and he knows something is up, and so he confronts her about it. And she denies it and gets all upset. And it's funny, one of my old buddies used to say to me, the longer the excuse, the bigger the lie. And so, anyways, he's like, okay, he doesn't have any evidence of that. He's just got this suspicion that something is up. And so he doesn't think anything of it. So he walks away from that event still thinking something's not right. And so a few weeks go by, and then he again confronts her because something's not adding up in one of her stories of where she was or what she was doing. And he said, well, if you got nothing to hide, would you mind if I took a look at your Facebook and your email? And she's, sure. Looks through the Facebook, nothing there. And then he looks through her emails, and there's like 3 or 4 emails in there between her and one of her coworkers, and this guy's basically writing her, I'm going to fuck you, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this to you, that. I mean, really explicit detail. And he's like, what the hell is this? Why would you tell me that it's okay to go look in your email when you know this stuff is in there? And she says, oh, I thought I deleted all those. It's like, can you imagine that? Oh, I thought I deleted them. It's like, in other words, I'm lying to your fucking face, telling you nothing's going on when she's out fucking this other guy, and this stuff is, I mean, it's just unbelievable. And so, yes, he's with this beautiful woman, but he only paid attention to the fact that she was really super hot and didn't date her and pay attention because he just didn't know what to look for to see if she was actually a person that had any kind of integrity. And so he leaves. And, of course, a few days go by, a week goes by, and she's begging him to come back. Anyways, he finally goes back, moves back in, and then this happened. It's like they break up several times over the course of several months, and each time, he realizes that she's lying to him again. And then finally, the last time after he went back to her, a few weeks go by, then she breaks up with him for good, and then it ends, and so he's basically... he's hired me to coach him to help him get past this and find somebody great. And so what I told him, and if anybody that I coach, I guarantee you're going to find a woman who's 100 times fucking hotter than this ex of yours, and I'm going to help you find a girl that's loyal, and she's going to treat you well, and she's going to have a good attitude, and she's going to understand men, and she's going to know how to communicate in a mature way, so you never have to deal with this kind of fucking bullshit again, and getting yourself involved in a relationship with a woman that's totally emotionally fucked up, because there's a lot of them out there. And so you got to be prepared and make a good choice when you decide to get into a long-term relationship with someone. And so if you find this message of value, you can show your appreciation by going down to the Wibbia toolbar, which is at the bottom of your screen if you're watching this video on my website, and click the PayPal donate button and donate any amount that you feel is equal to the value of the information in this video. At the very least, please share this page with all your friends and family by clicking any one of the social network sharing buttons, which are also located on the Wibbia toolbar. And if you've got a question you want to ask me or a topic that you want me to cover in a future video newsletter, click the Contact Me tab on the left-hand side of your screen and give me several days to get back to you with a detailed response. And if you'd like to book a paid phone coaching session with me personally so I can help you with a specific situation, click the Products tab at the top of your screen and follow the instructions. And I will talk to you soon.